Greetings everyone, and welcome to the video whether you're watching from your screen at home or inside of our lobby. My name is Mr. E, and today we'll be discussing 6 tips that can help to improve your practice sessions. If you're new to the school, you may not be sure what's the best way to practice your instrument. Or if you are a parent, you may not be sure how to know if your child is actually practicing the right way or the most efficient way. And that's exactly what the topic of today's video will be. And maybe you might already be doing some of these things. Or maybe there's other tips that maybe you implement that we won't discuss here. In any case, let's go ahead and dive into these 6 practice tips for you. The first tip, choose your space and set your space. Now, every person is different. Not everyone likes to practice in the same kinds of environments. Just like when we study, some people like to be in very noisy environments, and some people prefer to be in absolute quiet. The same is true about when we practice. Wherever we choose to practice, it's important that the space is set up for what's efficient for ourselves. So maybe you need to be somewhere that's very quiet. Have your instrument set in a room that's going to minimize distractions and where you can also hear very little and focus only on your sound. Or maybe your space needs to be somewhere that there's noise around, so that way you can work more efficiently. Maybe you want to be around where your family is, or where your friends are, or where there's just people. In any case, you want to make sure that wherever you practice, it's going to be in whatever makes you work efficiently and comfortably. If where you are doesn't make you want to practice, then it's not the place to practice. The second tip is going to be to set realistic goals. And when we say goals, we're talking about the specific things that you are trying to get done with your practice. It is not enough to just simply say you're going to practice for 30 minutes. After all, if you practice for 30 minutes, but you practice pieces that aren't helping you improve, then it's not helping you. Compared to if you were to practice for 5 minutes, but it's new content that's going to be helping you get better. I would rather choose the 5 minutes that's going to help me improve than the 30 minutes that did nothing. Set and focus your list of objectives to get done rather than focusing on getting a certain amount of time done. And your goals can be set on playing something a certain number of times or getting a certain part of a song to a certain tempo or BPM, or it could even be learning new measures of a song and things like that. So focus on getting goals done and make sure that the goals are reasonable enough to be able to be done by the time you come back for your next lesson. The third tip is going to be to work on the problem sections. Do not play your piece from the beginning every time. The only thing that does is get the beginning very, very good, and then as you go on further in the piece, you start to forget. Wherever you have problems happen in your piece, make sure that you mark those sections to start on for the next time. Always isolate and make sure that you work on fixing these problem spots, and not just make sure that they sound good on their own, but work these problem sections into what you already know. In other words, the problem spot can't just be fixed on its own, but what's happening before and after must be able to go into it smoothly. But make sure that you isolate and work on these problem spots rather than just play the whole thing over and over. The fourth tip is going to be to take breaks. Now, this one's a bit of a tricky one because sometimes we're not sure when to take a break or how much of a break to take. And sometimes we also feel like maybe we should just keep going anyway. Maybe you're the kind of person that doesn't believe in taking a break. However, we all, after a while, get distracted from time to time, whether you are young or old. So what we would recommend is every 10 to 15 minutes, take a small break. After being a bit better with your instrument and getting more and more professional, you'll be able to go longer amounts of time without taking a break. But 10 to 15 minutes is usually the best place to start as a beginner. And when we say to take a break, make sure that your break is not longer than the amount of time that you are practicing. So make sure that whenever you take a break, remind yourself you're going to get right back into practice pretty soon. Tip number 5, write and take notes. So make sure that not only are you practicing your piece, but make sure you mark on it. You can write down on it. There should always be a pencil on standby. Now, if you're a person that likes to color coordinate, go ahead and do that. You can try using highlighters, you can try using colored pencils, you can try using anything that would help you to make marks that you understand. So you don't need to write a whole lot. Don't write paragraphs. At the same time, don't write symbols that you're just going to forget later. Make markings that you understand and will always understand when you pick it up. If it will help you remember, make marks on your papers. And the last tip is going to be to get feedback and critique on your playing. Ask someone to listen to you. It can be your mom, your dad, brother, sister, friends, whoever. Play for somebody and have them tell you what you can work on. Or you can also record yourself. Most phones nowadays have a camera, and so you can be able to watch yourself play and see if there's things that you need to fix that you didn't notice while you played. Things to ask yourself about your playing. The first thing is always going to be, what is it about your playing that you like? What do you like that you're doing? What is it that you like about the way that you sound or the way that you look? And then the second thing to ask yourself is, where can I improve? Are there any spots I'm out of tempo? Are there any spots where I'm a little off key? Did I do something weird that I can see myself doing, but I didn't notice when I was at the instrument? These are questions that are important to ask yourself or as a parent listening to your child. And that's it for today's video right here. What do you think is important for when people practice? And is there anything in this video that you already do? Feel free to let us know. If you would like to give us feedback, please leave a comment on this video if you're watching online, or if you would like to shoot us an email, it will be at crescendomusicinstitute@gmail.com. We really would appreciate your suggestions and your comments. As well, if you're watching this video online, please give it a like if you would like to see more videos like this one right here, and subscribe as well so that way you can be updated for when we get another video out there. That's all for today. Thank you for watching and happy practicing.